Let's take a look at the Cleveland starting lineup for head coach George Karl, the youngest coach in the NBA. It's going to be Roy Hinson and Phil Hubbard in the forward positions, Mark West at center, John Bagley and World B. Free in the guard positions. There's a good live shot of George Karl and his pro career record. Coached some in the CBA, that's why you see that winning percentage. And for Boston Celtics, K.C. Jones, Kevin McHale, Larry Bird, Robert Parrish, Dennis Johnson, and Danny Ainge taking up the chores in the backcourt. And Casey's career record, very impressive, 68%. Led the Celtics to 2 consecutive 60-plus win seasons. And, of course, they start tonight on that trek towards the very difficult task of repeating as champions in the NBA. Not done for 15 years.
Seems like only yesterday, Rick. Now, the Celtics have to establish that they're going to take what they want and not what the Cleveland defense offers. So they're going to have to force the ball inside.
And the Cavaliers, as World B. Free said, are trying to drop in and shut things off and give them the outside shot. And the first turnover of the game goes in favor of the Cavs.
And here's the key man for the Cavaliers.
And they got inside quickly to Hubbard on the first basket of the game. And that's what they want to establish, is the inside game.
I think Bagley has to have a good game for the Cavaliers to really...
Well, they're going to give the outside shot, and if they can hit him like that, Dennis Johnson will be on his way to bringing the Celtics to another victory. He, of course, came on so strong in that finals against the Los Angeles Lakers last year. A lot of people would say that he was the pivotal player in that series. World B launches one, and Bird controls. McHale with tremendous height advantage over Bagley. Can't get it to drop. It's a good rebound by Hinson, who's really had a good season now that he's playing forward. Moved over from the center position last year. Bagley, the star from Boston College, can't get it to drop. A local favorite here, playing in his home territory. Celtic ball. Here's the battle underneath. Look at Bird battling. He had a little hook that time on Hinson. No, it's on West he had a hook on. He had a hook on West. Ainge with great penetration. Another layup blown by the Celtics. And that's Dennis Johnson. West with the rebound.
Now, they can't keep giving the Celtics that many opportunities. Good move by Lloyd Free. Good penetration. They should have stopped the ball at the foul line.
You may have seen the bandage on Lloyd's left leg. That's to protect. He has a pulled groin muscle up high in that left leg. It's bothered him during the course of the season. He says he's 100%, but the reports are that he really isn't. But it's been a while since he's been in the playoffs, and he wants it badly. Good bounce for Parrish.
It's an interesting matchup, Hubbard and Bird. They're giving each other a pretty good push to start the game.
We're tied at 4. We've played 2 minutes now in the first quarter of this first game of the playoff action, first round, best of 5 between Cleveland and Boston. Bagley, his first 2. Cleveland 6, Celtics 4. 2-point lead.
3 seconds.
Good defense that time by Free. Cavaliers doing a good job on the boards. Hinson. Celtics wanted traveling. Dennis Johnson didn't like it, the foul being called.
Dennis thinks he got pushed into... let's see if we can see it. See if he got pushed.
All right, never really touched him. You see him calling for the traveling violation, but no call. You can't convince the officials that they made a mistake after they've blown the whistle. I've tried it many times, and for some reason, Bill, it doesn't work.
And the harder you try, the less effect it has.
First point of the game for Hinson. 7-4, Cleveland. 9:30 to go in the first quarter. 22nd timeout quickly called by K.C. Jones. Now, why do you think K.C. is doing that, Bill?
He doesn't like the way they're playing. But first of all, they are letting Cleveland dictate. I saw Dennis Johnson bring the ball down, get a pushing match with Lloyd, with World B. Free. That's a mistake. Because all these little things you have to guard against diversions. You don't want to get into a talking game or a shoving game. You want to go out there and play ball. Now, what they have to do is get the ball to Larry Bird, Robert Parrish, and Kevin McHale.
Get that inside game going.
Right. Now, you do that a lot of different ways. You might have Dennis hitting the outside jump shot, but that's not what you want to do. You want to force it in there. Now, when they double team, they give up a better shot than the original 15 or 18-footer. And you got to be patient to take advantage of it.
Okay, Celtics ball. They trail by 3 here early in the first quarter. 9:25 to go. And quickly they double Bird, and a foul spotted by Hugh Evans, one of the officials.
Now Dennis should start a little closer in, so that when he sets the play up, he's within the his shooting range, so that the double team doesn't work.
Well, there's the double team now, and the foul was on Hubbard. As we're back to live action, Bird draws another foul, and Hubbard quickly picks up 2 fouls.
And he's going to learn. He's going to find real quickly you can't do that.
Well, of course, Phil, who came over from Detroit in 1982, this is his first playoff appearance. This is the 6th season he's been in the NBA, and they're saying at Cleveland, they say it's the best season that he's had, actually. 15.8 points a game, the best average of his career, and very, very rare miss by Larry Bird at the free throw line. Finished up in the top 3 and top 5 in free throw percentage, up around 88%.
Well, in the first game of the playoff, you're going to see a lot of oddities.
A little bit of a nervousness.
Oh, yeah.
Even with the experienced players, because it's the first time back, I would imagine.
Oh, I think the experienced players get more nervous than the rookies because they know what...
How tough it is, huh? Oh, boy, he just sends it up to the heavens, doesn't he?
Now, that was a howitzer shot there.
We're all 3. Bird spots Ainge open, but he has nowhere to go. McHale with a good bounce. 2 very good bounces for the Celtics. One by Robert Parrish and the other one just now by Kevin McHale. His first 2 points of the game. He's starting now, of course, because Cedric Maxwell injured his knee. Has only played 6 games in the latter part of the season, recovering from that injury, and he's going to be doing Kevin's role, 6th man duty. That's Bagley. Bagley now with 2 outside jumpers. 4
and that
points for
relieves
him.
some of the pressure when the Celtics try to double team on their front line.
Cleveland leading by 4. 8:15 to go in the first quarter. Ainge with a 5-inch height advantage over Bagley.
Good shot, didn't fall.
That was Hubbard with the rebound. Good pick in the backcourt by West to free Bagley. Nice shot over McHale with the left hand. Bagley with 6, and Cleveland by 6.
He took advantage of that pick.
Look at Bird drawing the traffic, another steal. Here comes Cleveland.
And they've been playing real good defense, Cleveland has. Since they got the disaster start, they've been playing real good defense, but that's the only way you can turn that around.
Good shot of World 3. Do you see the size of those arms? You should see his legs. They are really very, very large. And Boston has called a timeout. K.C. Jones was upset before, took a 20-second timeout. Now he has to really talk things over. His team's trailing by 6 with 7:40 to go in the first quarter.
We're Delta Airlines. We love the things we do it all to please you.
These Delta singers, representing over 36,000 pros worldwide, are singing out a new message.
Anytime, Delta gets you there.
The prelude. Some people like to drive it wide open.
How many shakes can you get from one disposable shake?
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday,
No one makes a sharp, long-lasting disposable quite like
Saturday, Sunday.
How many shakes does your disposable give you?
The Lakers begin their quest for a championship against Phoenix. America's Super Shootout. The NBA playoffs continue on Superstation WTBS next.
Rick Barry back with Bill Russell, and today is a date in NBA history that we're going to tell you about. You can see it right there. The reason we were laughing is Bill said they should have also put N. Best coach. Oh, inside. A lot of banging going on as Bird hits the deck. Mark West just absolutely nailed Bird. It was caught. So Larry, if nothing else, is drawing a lot of concentration there. And part of the defense as Ainge pops in a three-pointer. Danny Ainge, who's playing with a lot of bumps and bruises, a sore big toe, sore back, sore leg. You see his little guard on the right leg, up in the thigh area. Good jump hook by Hinson over McHale. His first basket, 3 points for Hinson. Cavs by 5. 7 minutes to go here in the first quarter. Larry, and another good Celtic bounce.
And see, that's a tough shot, but you have to go inside. You have to force the ball inside and make them pay. So you can get shots like that can bounce for you, or free throws.
Also, when you get to kick it out, the outside players have a much shorter shot by doing that because it drops the defense in. Free can't get it to drop. That's McHale. Hubbard went for the steal and paid the price. You don't do that against a great player. 5 points for Bird. And the Celtics quickly have cut it to a 1-point Cleveland lead at the 6:25 mark. First quarter.
Now the Lloyd Free has been carrying his club offensively a great deal of the time. And you can't do that, Lloyd. I keep saying Lloyd. World be free. I have to apologize to him.
Yes. Hubbard had great position that time on Bird, but the pass was thrown errantly by World. Otherwise, could have been an easy basket, or should have been an easy basket for Cleveland. From 17, that's McHale. 4 points for Kevin. Celtics have taken the lead.
Now this is where the Cavaliers are going to have to pull it in.
They got a mismatch now.
Ainge on Hinson. And they paid for it.
Hinson tried to roll to the basket, but Ainge is gutsy. Hinson has 5 points, and Ainge bumped him around and wouldn't let him get outside. Look at Parrish and Hinson battling. Look at them battle inside there, top of the screen. Now the double by Free. And Dennis Johnson forces his way inside. Good, strong move.
This is what I mean, Rick, that you have to take what you want and not what's given.
Boston.
It makes it look like tough shots, but you got to keep doing that, and you'll end up, in the end, getting a lot of free throws, too.
After Boston started out 3 for 8, they've made their last 5 shots to get back in the lead by 1. Bagley had it knocked away by McHale, went off of his leg. Good play by Kevin. Third turnover for Cleveland. Inside of 5 minutes now to go here in the first quarter.
And they're now getting the ball inside where they want it.
4 points for Parrish. Yes, to start off the game, Cleveland had 6 points to only 2 for Boston inside, but that has changed drastically. 10-2 run by Boston to take a 3-point lead. Hubbard over Bird.
They've made some good shots inside, and they're getting the ball inside, too. This Cleveland team is a real good team in that they have guys that can post up, because you got to have that inside game. Plus, they have a couple of good. Lloyd Free was a good counter with the World Free is a good counter with the outside jumper.
Mark West with his second foul, and we have Lonnie Shelton coming in for Mark West. Lonnie Shelton, of course, a member of that championship team in the late 70s with the Supersonics. Another 3-pointer by Ainge.
Well, this is the second team that Lonnie Shelton was on. They had an awful start and ended up in the playoffs. He was on that Seattle team that lost like 5 out of their first. They only won 5 out of the first 20 games or so. And
good pass, but Bird hits the deck. He's okay. Hubbard inside, and Cleveland continues to go inside. They've got 12 points on inside baskets, 12 of their 21. They lead again by 1. 6 points now for Hubbard. Another 3-pointer by Ainge. 1 for 3 out there so far.
Now that's not the shot you want to take. You work the ball around for another.
Strong move by Hinson.
You move the ball around for another 2 or 3, maybe 5, 6, 8 seconds, and then take that shot. But you can get that shot.
Well, you can get those outside shots anytime you want. And we'll watch the play again as Parrish will pick up the foul. Bagley, see, made the good penetration. Parrish had to come to help. Great pass off to Hinson, who goes up very strong against McHale and Parrish, and the foul was on Parrish. Hinson has 6 points and 3 rebounds so far, off to a real fine start. His first playoff action. Cleveland leads by 2. 3:30 to go in the first quarter. And they have played the Celtics tough, even though they lost all 6 of the regular season games. They played them tough the last 2. And there's a fine effort by Bird on the pass from Johnson. 7 points for Larry.
I think that Lonnie was not open up defensively on that, because that's when the guy beats you, when you don't open up.
Got to help out on those screens.
You open up your stance.
Tied at 22. Parrish made Bagley change it. Shelton gets it back for Cleveland. There's a three-pointer by World, 3. And Hubbard gets it back again for Cleveland. World's going to, I thought he was going to try another one. Knocked away by Ainge. It'll be Cleveland ball. And George Karl is going to take a timeout right now, and we have 2:49 to go in the first quarter, and a surprise, I'm sure, to a lot of people, the score's tied at 22.
Memories of the smiles we left behind, smiles we gave to one another.
Why trust moments like these to anything other than Kodak videotape? It captures the sights and sounds of every moment with color that's beautifully accurate, unmistakably Kodak.
For the way we were.
When the moment means more, trust it to Kodak videotape.
At Century Hardware, we don't sell novelties like some stores do, but we sell quick-set single-cylinder deadbolts, 744. We don't sell children's clothes either, but we have Shop Vac Mighty Mini vacuums, 4688. And instead of cosmetics, Century stocks Werner 20-foot extension ladders, 6188. Of course, other stores sell hardware too, when they have room for it. Century, where hardware isn't a sideline.
Introducing the fuel-injected Honda Civic CRX SI.
It's a rocket.
Remember, at halftime, we're going to have the Prudential Sports Update. Gary Miller and all of the sports scores for you. And this gentleman is going to join Bill and myself. Red Auerbach, of course, head man here with Celtics for so many years and such a successful coach. And we'll have his usual unbiased opinion, won't we, Bill? The field goals right now, you see both teams shooting exceptionally well. And quickly again, inside go the Cavaliers. This time Hubbard can't get it to drop. Henson strong again to the basket to draw a second foul against Robert Parrish. They are determined inside, Bill.
Well, you know, Rick, I'm not surprised that the game is close, or maybe close the whole game, or even if Cleveland could win the game. Because if you take away the 1 to 4 point game that the Celtics have won championship with, if you take those away, they may be 3 instead of 15. So there's a lot of close ball games when you win a championship. You know, our first championship, we won the 7th game in the second overtime by 2 points. And the first game in that series, we won in 2 overtimes by 2 points. So there are a lot of close ball games. You don't run over these teams because they're good teams and these are good players.
The penalty now against Cleveland as Bagley picks up a foul. His first.
And here's a great addition the Celtics made, I think.
Ray Williams, who's just come into that ball game on the free throws, was fouled after the free throw that was made by Hinson, who has 9 points so far in the ball game, or 7 points. I talked to Ray before the ball game, Bill, and asked him how it feels to be on this ball club. He says, boy, it sure is a lot easier. He says, I have my responsibilities to do, and I could just kind of relax and go out and have fun. He said, run the team, get out in the break, play my defense, and if I get my shots, I take them. He said, it's really nice. And that's the big thing about the Celtic team. They have role players. They know what their roles are, and they stay within those boundaries. They don't mess up the chemistry. Shot clock is down inside of 10. Bagley again from the outside. Bagley with 8 points.
They have a good counter offense at the Cavaliers now. Henson's playing strong inside. Good pass by Ray Williams.
Well, the first one wasn't too good. He got it back again, so he got a second chance, fortunately for him.
They have a good counter out, and they got a good inside game. And with World Be Free and Bagley hitting the outside shots, that's good counter.
Shelton with the jump hook over McHale. First 2 points for Shelton. Cleveland back in front by 1. We've got 1:45 to go here in the first quarter. Knocked out of bounds by Lonnie Shelton.
Now here's Ray Williams going in. He gets it back. He says, well, if that's the case, McHale, you going in there and I'll give it to you and you can shoot the layup.
Davis into the game for Cleveland. Johnny Davis played on the championship Portland team back in the late 70s.
Now, one of the things about inexperience with Henson is that you have to know when to stop pushing. You know, you're in a pushing match and both guys are pushing, but you have to know when to stop. Because when the ball comes near the center, then everybody focuses on it. Until then, you can push.
Again, another one of those little tricky secrets of yours, Bill. Not dirty, tricky.
Okay.
Robert Parrish, the Chief, now has 5 points. And we're tied at 27. 1:35 to go, first quarter. Cleveland playing well within the game plan that George Karl has set up as Mel Turpin, the rookie out of Kentucky, will be making his first appearance in the game on the next dead ball.
And ex-teammates.
Stolen by Williams. Let's see if he takes it home. Casual layup. 4 points for Williams. Celtics by 2. 1:15 to go in the quarter. Hubbard can't get it to drop. Bird to Johnson. Might be too far. Dennis tracks it down in the dead corner. And Ray gets inside and misses an easy shot. We're down to 50 seconds to go. First quarter. Chance for Cleveland to tie it at 29. They trail by 2. Henson does just that. Henson with 9 points here in the first quarter. 35 seconds to go. Cleveland will get the last shot of the quarter. Larry Bird makes sure that the Celtics get the last shot with a quick one with 31 seconds to go. Bird also has 9 to match Henson's 9.
And Bird's got it rather quietly. You almost didn't know he was out there. Layup here. Free throw 2 here.
Shot clock down to 10. We've got 15 to go in the quarter. Big rebound by Henson. Again. Foul inside. Now, if that's on Parrish, that could be costly. It is on. No, it's on Parrish. That's 3 on Robert Parrish, and that could be a big factor in this game.
Because Henson's really
he's playing like a man possessed. Look at that effort. Just great individual effort. He'll go back and get it again. Robert with the body. In comes Greg Kite.
Well, Robert does have problems with getting in foul trouble with centers that have good lateral movement.
And of course, Henson now is playing forward. He has that. He's very quick. You can see him right there. Not only is he muscular, but he's got that thin build. He has trouble on the free throw line, however. 6 rebounds he has, 3 offensive so far in the game. But he's only made 3 of 7 free throws. Chance to cut the Boston lead to only 1 as Ben Poquette has come into the game. Now, Ben has had the distinction, and not a very good one, of being in the league 8 years and never playing in the playoffs, so he's delighted to be here. We're down to 2 seconds to 1. Williams got it off. It would have counted. And George Karl has got to be pleased with the way his Cleveland Cavaliers have performed. They trail the Celtics by only 1 at the end of 1 quarter.
Just before his trip, Bart Price checked his engine for any problems, but there was one he couldn't see. The fan belt. Even this morning, no mechanic could have seen it would break, because today's engine belts don't usually show signs of wear. But after 4 years, even the best belts can go anytime. Is your car 4 years old or older? Change the belts and ask for Gates, because nobody knows more about belts.
Introducing the fuel-injected Honda Civic CRX SI. It's a rocket.
Now that we're a family, some things have become a lot more important to us. When we had our home insulated, we were concerned about our heating and cooling bills, but we were more concerned about fire safety. So we selected CertainTeed InsulSafe 2. InsulSafe is non-combustible, thermally efficient fiberglass insulation. Sure, saving energy is important to us, but insulating safely is what InsulSafe is all about.
Rick Barry back with Bill Russell here from the Boston Garden. And a very surprising first quarter, Bill. But, of course, you said you really aren't that surprised by the way the Cavaliers are playing in this game as you see the statistics in the first quarter.
No, when they turned that record around from 2-19, they've played very good basketball the rest of the season. You have to do that. You have to be able to play good defense. Now, when they double team, they mix it up. Sometimes they double team off of a 1-3-1, and sometimes off of a 2-1-2, and sometimes even a 2-2-1. A different kind of zone defense, so that when you double team, the other three guys have to zone. They have to zone. And they leave something open, but they leave the farthest away from the ball open.
Take a look at the leading scorers for both teams. Hinson and Bird leading the way for their respective teams. We'll get a look now at the rookie, Mel Turpin, and Ray Williams with another good defensive effort. Nice play by Ray.
Good hustle on the defense.
Scott Webman is into the game. Small front line now for the Boston Celtics. Webman filled it admirably for Bird when he was out with that sore elbow, which is still bothering him. That was late in the season. First time the Celtics lost 2 games in a row was when Bird was out. Three-pointer, Webman. And Webman, as Turpin gets the rebound, set a record this year for 11 consecutive three-pointers over a span of 3 or 4 ball games. Lonnie Shelton with a muscle move against Bird.
He protected the ball very well with his body. He has enough body to protect it, too. He's protecting the ball with his body there.
And if the other defensive man is moving and contact is made on the body, invariably it will go against the defensive player. As told that Scott Webman's record was made over a long period of time, from December 21st until March the 30th. So he wasn't getting a whole lot of playing time in that area and shooting those three-pointers, but he did make 11 in a row to beat the record by Trent Tucker of the New York Knicks, who had 10 also during the course of this season. Williams penetrates, gives Webman the opening, and Scott is an excellent opportunity shooter.
Now, that's one of the things that Williams is great. He has great experience in this league, and he's a real good player. And so he's really going to help them in the playoffs when you have 3 quality guards. Good shot.
What a great, that was a terrific way of improvising when you were in trouble. Bagley saw himself in trouble, knew 3 seconds were coming up, and he has 10 points now. Three-pointer, Bird. Webman. 4 points for Scott Webman as he tracks down the offensive board.
A former Cleveland Cavalier.
Yes, and also former Kansas City King.
Now Sacramento.
Yes, now Sacramento King, or whatever name they're going to come up with. Poquette from 17, Ben Poquette. His first 2 points puts the Cleveland Cavaliers back in the lead at the 10-10 mark of the second quarter. Celtics have tried a lot of three-point shots thus far in the game. Shot clock is under 10 for the Celtics. Poquette just grabbing onto Scott Webman as he cut across the lane. Rather obvious foul.
This game is rather physical, Rick. I'd say if the ref blew every foul, it would be a parade from one foul line to the other, and then you couldn't finish the game because there'd be no one left.
Kevin Williams has come into the ball game for Cavaliers, and you see Quinn Buckner entering for the Boston Celtics.
Now this is a real tough defensive duo, Ray Williams and Quinn Buckner for the Celtics.
Williams wastes no time picking up his foul.
Now this is the part of the game where you got that balance of shooting, rebounding, defense, And this is like holding the fort so you can get the guys, the team that you like playing there all the time. You know, McHale comes. And he replaces Larry Bird. Now, Wedman will have to take up the outside shooting.
Oh, he'll be happy to do that, Bill. A lot of changes in the lineups for both teams at this juncture, and we told you Scott will take up the chores out there. He's got 6 points now, 4 of them coming from the outside. That his deepest shot so far of the game, but he did miss a 3-point attempt. Boston back in the lead by 1. We've got 9:25 to go at the half. A little double teaming by the Celtics. Turpin with an air ball, and McHale loses it out of bounds. Casey Jones looking on concerned.
When you double team, you have to get great timing, and when you get defensive help from a weak side, because you get that too early, you commit a foul. If you get it too late, the shot's off.
Williams can't get it to drop. That's Kite with the rebound. McHale draws traffic and the foul. It's going to be against Lonnie Shelton, I believe. No, they didn't. Let me see who they called that on as we watch it again. I think it's going to be Poquette. There he comes now into the picture. Poquette right there on the arm. Ben Poquette, who came over to help out, was called for the foul. I thought it was going to be on Shelton with the body, so actually they really had a choice of 2 players. McHale now with 7 points. Celtics with a 2-point lead. Kevin McHale, who in playing as a starter with the injury to Cedric Maxwell, has been averaging over 25 points a game.
Yeah, he told me it's really different. He goes out there the first 7 minutes and everything's going real well. He says, then you forget there's 41 minutes left when you start. Great shot there.
I think the Cavaliers like that spot.
Yes.
3 guys have made jump hooks from almost the same area. Mel Turpin with his first 2 points of the ball game cuts that Celtic lead to 1. 8:35 coming up to go here in the first half. This Boston crowd, I think, rather concerned, Bill, the way things are going. And one of the illegal defense against the Cavaliers, and I think one of the reasons that the crowd is so quiet is because the Celtics are struggling a bit.
Which is not surprising at all.
Knocked away by Shelton. Poquette has it. That's Williams out of St. John's, a Louis Carnesecca boy. Davis, Johnny Davis. First 2 points for Davis. Cleveland back in the lead by 1. 8:05 to go in the half. Parrish on the bench with 3 fouls if you just joined us. Bird resting now on the bench as well. Kite battles to keep it alive, but Shelton controls. 4-on-2 break for Cleveland. Poquette from Davis. 3-point lead for Cleveland. Ben Poquette with 4 points. His first playoff experience, and he's probably relishing it as Bird gets up to come back into the ball game for the Celtics. You saw him trotting across the top of your screen. Inside go the Celtics. McHale having trouble finding the range, but Scott Wedman is there. So 2 offensive rebounds and baskets for Scott Wedman.
Well, Scott was a really good player when he played at Kansas City. And now let's see him work the offensive board here. He stole the ball actually right there. He got a good inside position. I couldn't see the foul.
The foul was on Lonnie Shelton with the body.
It's not important that I see it. It's important that the referee see it. Well, I was saying Scotty Wedman was a good player with Kansas City when he signed a big contract with Cleveland. And I think they expected something from him that was not part of his game.
You see the shot of Bird back into the game. 9 points for Wedman. They're tied at 42. 7:25 to go in the half. Turpin again, same spot. This time it was more of a hook shot rather than the jump hook. 4 points for Turpin. And Celtic crowd still not really being able to turn things on. They got a little excited on the last trip down. That'll perk them up.
That'll wake them up.
11 for Larry. Tied at 44.
When he makes a move like that, you have the feeling that he's doing it for him. Everything is going in slow motion. He has all the time to do just what he wants to do.
That's the 15th lead change already, Bill. Turpin travels with the ball. He had a short basket afterwards. George Karl is livid on the sideline. He wanted to have a foul called, but we have a timeout on the court with 6:43 to go here in the second period, and we're tied at 44.
Folks stand proud and tall. They'll look you right in the eye. A place where pride is worth a whole lot more than money can buy. Where people care about their family. Where laughter's sincere. Where your word is your word. A friend's a friend and Miller's the beer. Miller's made the American way, born and brewed in the USA, just as proud as the people who are drinking it today. Miller's made the American way.
Miller contains no additives, no preservatives. Miller beer, purity you can see, quality you can taste.
Miller's made the American way.
Let's take a look at the playoff ladder right now, and we'll take a look at that in a little while. But right now, Bill, I want to bring up a few statistics. In the first quarter, both teams shot over 50%, but both coaches talked about having to control the boards to win. Cleveland had 13 rebounds, Boston only 6. So that has been a telling factor, enabling Cleveland. They established an inside game, Bill. 8 of their 11 shots were they scored inside, 73%. They were 5 for 12 from the outside. Boston was 8 for 15 inside and 5 for 8 outside. So Cleveland did a very, very good job on the boards and getting the inside game going, even though they didn't convert a lot of those offensive rebounds that they had. They had 5 and only got 2 points off of them.
You know, these two teams playing each other. Celtics really don't know what kind of adjustments they have to make. They have to make them as the game goes. Whereas Coach Karl has to, he can go get his tape film out and look, and he can see what kind of adjustments he has to make. So when he comes to the game, the Celtics are playing the way they usually play, and Cleveland will be playing a different game than what the Celtics have seen before.
Well, what they're doing now is causing problems for the Celtics. We had a little pause because a buzzer on one of the 24-second clocks was going off, and they corrected it. Now we've got a foul inside. Dennis Johnson, who just came into the ball game in that timeout, was called for an offensive foul. His second foul. Remember, Robert Parrish on the bench with 3 fouls for the Celtics.
Now that was again, and now they're pushing. See, now Dennis didn't quit in time.
He got caught for the second one, which is invariably the case. World B. Free is in the ball game again for the Cleveland Cavaliers. Turpin blocked by McHale, but he gets it back. Bird with the steal. 3 people on Johnson. Poquet with the block and the foul. Lonnie Shelton, ex-teammates, and the ball almost went in. Of course, they shared that championship season back in Seattle.
There's a steal. Bird comes up with it to Dennis.
Now watch the traffic he draws. 3 orange shirts and Poquet with the block. Oh, it looks like Lonnie almost pulled Dennis's head off at the end of that.
Well, Dennis, since I'm going to hit you, I might as well make it a pretty good one. You understand, old buddy?
Oh, yes. Dennis Johnson, you see his free throw percentage excellent, as was the Boston team. They led the NBA in free throw percentage with 80.6%. That's outstanding for a pro team to shoot that high. One of the reasons why they won so many close ball games, or won a lot of ball games, period. Nice pass by Davis.
Good move by Lonnie
Good
Shelton.
cut. Tied at 46. 5:50 to go in the first half. Free all over Williams. And a foul being called on. No, that's an illegal. What is that?
No, he called it on World B. Free.
World B. Free. It looked like he gave an illegal defensive warning on Wally Rooney, the official. That's his first foul. And that's the penalty against Cleveland. Boston with only 1 team foul. Remember that at the conclusion of the game, Bill and I are going to select the light beer most valuable player of the game as you look at that replay and the battling inside. And Free right there gets the foul as he pushes off with the right hand. And in conjunction with that award, Turner Broadcasting and Light Beer from Miller are going to present a check for $500 to the National Multiple Sclerosis Foundation in that player's name as the Celtics take a 2-point lead with 5:40 to go in the second quarter.
And the pace of the game is slowed down considerably, but teams they're trying to execute their half-court offense. And both teams want to get inside.
Shelton over Bird. Lonnie Shelton now with 8 points. Hinson has reported to the scorers table for Cleveland. He had a big first quarter. Free. Scott Davis on the right. Never bothered to see him, and the result was okay.
I'll take this.
Free with 8.
You get the next one.
Well, I'll tell you one thing, Bill. This game was being played back in Cleveland. The crowd noise and level will be a lot higher. That was a great pass by Dennis Johnson to Bird, who snuck underneath. And we're tied at 50. 4:50 to go in the first half. Of course, remember at halftime, we have the legend in his own time, not in his own mind, Bill, in his own time. Red Auerbach will be with us. Shot clock at 6. Turpin Bogarts Bird out of the way, just jumped right on top of him. No foul called either way. Crowd didn't like it. 6 points for Turpin. Cleveland by 2. 4:20 to go in the half.
And I think the referees are, quote, letting them play.
DJ knocked away by McHale. Again, Williams finds McHale. Excellent pass by Ray Williams. McHale now with 10 points. Back into the game was Bagley. Davis goes to the bench. Phil Hubbard also back in along with Hinson. Wholesale changes for Coach George Karl as Turpin, Davis, and Poquette go to the Cleveland bench.
And his bench gave him good service because all you want the bench to do is hold the fort. And the game is still tied up when you played your bench a good 7 or 8 minutes. That's a good sign.
Completes the 3-point play, gives Boston a 1-point lead at the 4:09 mark, second quarter. Good ball movement by Cleveland, but good defensive recovery by the Celtics. Shot clock at 7. Block, McHale. 3-on-2 break. Johnson, score it, and that brings the crowd to life here at the Boston Garden.
Great defense, fast break. That's what you love.
And we saw that, of course, last night when Philadelphia turned the defense on against the Washington Bullets to win. Here it comes again.
And here's Ray Williams making another brilliant contribution. Nice play. Made the perfect pass so Dennis to get the 3-point play.
And that's what the fans here are accustomed to seeing. We want to remind you that America's shootout, super shootout, will continue because the Phoenix Suns will be going up against the Los Angeles Lakers right after the game tonight here on the Superstation, 10:30 p.m. Eastern Time. That's the Lakers against the Suns. Skip Carey, John Andres out there in the land of sun, bringing you that first game of that 3-5 series. That'll be from the Forum. Hubbard draws the foul against Wedman. It's only the second team foul against the Celtics, but of course it will be a shooting foul for Phil. See, West is back into the game also for Cleveland, as Cedric Maxwell will be making his first appearance now into the ball game after this free throw by Phil. Of course, Cedric, a former MVP. In fact, the Celtics have a lot of former MVPs in championship series on the court. Cedric Maxwell, Larry Bird, Dennis Johnson, of course, wasn't a Celtic when he got the MVP award. John Havlicek was a winner. Of course, he's probably in the stands watching. JoJo White was another one for the Celtics. Celtics by 4. We've got 3:25 to go in the half. Bird makes it 6-point lead for the Celtics. 15 points for Larry Bird.
And this is what happens when you tell a team that it's hard to screen out. When you let a guy go free, a good rebounder will be there for the open.
George Karl is concerned, Bill. He has called a timeout at the 3:14 mark. The Celtics are out to their biggest lead.
It's a good timeout. You can't let these guys run off 10-12.
Great day, huh?
Some airlines seem to see how far they can push you.
Coffee?
Not Delta. We'd rather see how well we can fly you.
How about that movie, huh? Just give it a good spin.
And now with movies on selected Delta flights.
Hello?
So why be pushed from here to there?
Coffee?
Winks and fly Delta. Delta gets you there in style.
The watch to watch is Loris. It's dependable technology with a flair all its own. Loris style. It's right day or night, on the town or on the job. Loris value. It keeps you ahead at a price that won't set you back. Loris forgiving. It's quartz watches and clocks for everyone. Just $14.95 to $59.95. Fashionable, dependable Loris. It's everything except expensive.
Shake! Shake it on down. Shake it on down now. Shake it on down the line. I said shake, 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 shake. Shake it on down.
When we test big Ford pickups, we really shake them up above and beyond how you normally drive your truck. That's another reason why we can say they're built Ford tough.
Shake, 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 shake. Shake it on down.
The best built American trucks are built Ford tough.
And now we'll take a look at those playoff pairings. Of course, Celtics against the Cavs. The Pistons against the Nets should be a great series. The Pistons losing 5 out of 6 to the Nets, but they match up quite well and had good games. Bucks and the Bulls, and of course the Sixers and the Bullocks. Sixers leading that one 1-0. Lakers and Suns in the West, Mavs and the Blazers, the Rockets and the Jazz, and the Nuggets and the Spurs. As we start action here, knocked away quickly by the Celtics. Chance to move it up to 8 points. Great block that time on the part of Hinson. Johnson was all over 3. Bagley cuts it to a 4-point lead. So a big block by Hinson cuts the lead down to 4. Could have easily been an 8-point lead for the Celtics. And that's what defense will do for you as we go inside to 2:45 left in the first half. Block hint West. Foul, though. Bird will go to the line. Again, the inside game with the Celtics, Bill.
Now, one of the key things that you have to understand about the inside game is, now here's the play here. Bird gets hit there and falls right away. That you have to be willing to take a physical pounding to play the inside game. There's no doubt about it. You have to go in there and you may even get busted up, get stitches and things like that, and you will be bruised. But in order to play that inside game, you got to be willing to take a beating.
Well, here's a man that can dish it out.
Too.
Well, this man can give it out who just came in, Mel Turpin. He's got quite a lot of bulk to him as West goes to the bench with 3 fouls to join Parrish sitting down. And the Celtics have got to be happy, though, Bill, that they've got a 5-point lead now, and Robert Parrish has missed a considerable amount of playing time in the first half, drawing those 3 early fouls. Larry Bird now has 17 points to go along with 4 rebounds. Celtics with a 6-point lead. That has been their biggest lead of the ball game. We have 2:35 to go in the half. Shot clock was down at 10. Bird off the miss by Bagley. Boston trying to go for their biggest lead of the game. Bird and Hubbard were really battling for the rebound that time. The Celtics wanted a foul, but Cleveland controls. And Hubbard, well, it looked like he was going to score, but he was robbed.
I think
Maxwell score it.
let's take another look at this. Dennis Johnson on the break. Passes it off to Maxwell. There's the foul right there.
And at the free throw line, Cedric Maxwell. In the second quarter, Boston has been to the line 11 times, Bill. They have made all 11 free throws. Cleveland only 2 of 4. Make it 12 for 12 for the Celtics as Maxwell completes the 3-point play, and the Celtics with their biggest lead of the game at 9.
And the reason I think that they have the lead is they have been forcing the ball inside, and that's where you either get a good shot or you go to the foul line.
Hinson, a powerful effort on the offensive glass, draws a foul on McHale.
McHale.
We have 1:44 to go. That was still only the first team foul in the last 2 minutes with the Celtics, so Cleveland's ball on the side. Free from 19. Boston had run off 13-2 prior to that basket to take that commanding lead. Now it's a 7-point lead, and the free throw penalties have really hurt.
Great pass, a great cut, and great shot. Sounds like a great play to me.
It sounds like it. A simple play, too. Bird just, he went to the basket, and Williams hit him.
Some of the great plays are simple.
Free gets his own miss, but Johnson takes it away. Williams. And the Celtics are rolling.
The layups. That's how you get the high shooting percentage.
8 points for Ray Williams as the Celtics burst out to their biggest lead of the game. They lead by 11, 55 seconds to go in the half. McHale.
Foul there.
Hinson will go to the free throw line.
I would think that if I were guarding a guy like Hinson, I would make him go to his left. I don't think he can do much with him going to his right. But I don't know how much. You see, this is the thing you get a chance to work on in a series.
Okay, you're talking about now with his back to the basket or facing the basket? Which way?
Either way, I would make him. If he's back to the basket, I would make him turn to the middle.
Turn to the right. You have to use his left hand. And facing the basket, make him also go to the left, back to the middle using. So he goes right with his back to the basket, left facing the basket.
Right.
No, left.
But I would make him use his left hand because he's really tough.
Right. I'm going to confuse you before it's all over, Bill. Cleveland.
You got close already, Rick.
trailing by 9 points. Oh, yes. Count the basket. Excellent play by Dennis Johnson. He had a wide open jump shot, and so many players get the blinders on and never see the open men. But that time, McHale was wide open under the basket.
That's one thing you can't do on this team.
Turn your head. And that's what
I mean, ignore when the guys is open. See, there's a defense reaction right there. It's so wide open.
And Hubbard was pushing off on Bird, but he went to the basket. That was the foul. Bird has 20 points. The Celtics lead by 12, their biggest lead of the ball game. Final 25 seconds of the first half. Cleveland played so well for the majority of the half, and then the Celtics just turned on the afterburners. Bagley takes it into the tall timber, and Wally Rooney says it was touched by a Celtic.
And he's right. I think Ray Williams hit the ball, but it did a great acting job.
22nd timeout by George Karl and the Cleveland Cavaliers, trying to come up with a good play for that last shot.
Ray looked over at me and says, I didn't touch it.
A reminder that this program is authorized under rights that are granted by the National Basketball Association solely for the entertainment of you, our audience, and any publication, production, reproduction, or other use of these pictures, descriptions, or accounts of this particular game without the express written consent of the National Basketball Association is prohibited. And we have the overhead I Spy shot of George Karl to see what he comes up with. There's only 5 seconds on the shot clock, 14 on the game clock for the first half. So the Celtics will get the last shot of the game, provided Cleveland doesn't miss and get the offensive rebound. So let's see what they come up with. Coquette to take it in. Coquette on the Hinson miss. And he shot it fading away, and there was no necessity to do it. The Celtics try to get the last shot off. A little bit too far from Johnson to Bird. We have 2 seconds to go in the half. Cleveland will try to get one last desperation shot off. Boston has made 9 of their last 10 shots, Bill, to go along with all those free throws. Bagley. And as everybody had expected, the Boston Celtics are controlling this ball game, but it took them a while to get there. Boston 70, Cleveland 58 at the half.
America's Super Shootout, the NBA playoffs, brought to you in part by Honda, makers of the Prelude.
Here we are back at the half. Boston Garden, the Celtics 70, Cleveland 58. Okay, Bill, we heard from your old boss, Red Auerbach. What about your impressions as we look at all those wonderful championship banners up there in this first half as we see the statistics? Very good shooting, by the way, on the part of both ball clubs, but look at the difference in the free throws. Percentage for the Cavs low, and that's where they were outscored, the 9 of the 12-point differential from the free throw line.
Well, I think that the Celtics got control of the game by doing what they had to do, forcing the ball inside. Cleveland's idea to start the game was to make them shoot the outside shot. Well, a real good team, they're not going to do that. You don't win 60 games letting the other team dictate what you're going to do. You win those games and championships by you deciding what's going to be done and going out and doing it.
Do you see the Cleveland scoring in the first half, led by Bagley and Hinson and all the rest of the players?
I thought that
for Boston, we'll take a look at theirs too. Go ahead, Bill. Bird leading the way for Boston.
I thought that the Celtics got exceptional play out of Scott Wedman and Ray Williams coming off the bench. You couldn't ask for a better play from guys coming off the bench. And it's strange to say, but you expect it from Ray Williams, and a pleasant surprise the way that Scotty Wedman played for the Celtics.
As you saw, all of them.
The Celtics coach, that is a pleasant surprise.
Yes. And we'll talk about the inside game. In the second quarter, the Celtics dominated in there, 10 of 15 inside the paint area. Cleveland was 8 for 14. And outside shooting, Cleveland was where they really lost it. 9 for 23 outside first half. 39% only. And as Bill has told you before, when you're going to shoot from the outside and win, you've got to shoot it up around 60%. So the Cleveland Cavaliers were well off that mark. Boston only took 15 outside shots. They were 8 for 15. Fast breaks, Cleveland 11, 4 for 11. Celtics 3 for 7. Bill Hubbard dropped as Robert Parrish gets back into the ball game. He's in there with McHale, Ainge, Dennis Johnson, and Bird. Same starting lineup, and the same lineup for the Cavaliers. Bagley, Free, Hinson, West, and Hubbard. Shot clock inside of 10 for the Celtics. Good steal by Bagley, and he'll beat Johnson down there easily. Bagley has 14. 10 points, Celtic lead. Early minutes here of the third quarter if you just joined us. Parrish showing good defense by West, but Ainge gets it back. And the Cavaliers have a 4-on-1 break. Bagley. Hubbard, score it, foul Johnson. 3 fouls now on Dennis Johnson. Robert Parrish had 3 fouls in the first half and sat out a great deal of it as we watched the break come along. Here comes Bagley. He really let it go a little bit soon. Dennis Johnson was in good position, but Hubbard was able to draw the foul with the body. But of course, Dennis, a good defensive player, is not going to commit too early very often.
And they continue to miss free throws.
Hubbard has 8 points, and the free throws have plagued the Cavaliers in the first half.
This is the important part of the game for the Cavaliers. And that they got to try to
go ahead.
They got to try to, like they started with the 4 points, is very important, because if they let the Celtics start out with 4 points, then that makes it that scary place where you wonder if you can catch up.
Now, Wardle Free, I don't know why he was even questioning that. He just grabbed the Cav with 2 hands around the waist. It was so obvious that for a moment, I didn't think the whistle was going to be blown. I think he held on just about a half a second too soon because his body was blocking him out from the outside official who made the call, and had he let go a half second sooner, he might have gotten away with it. Kevin McHale, who has done such an outstanding job for this team all season long. Of course, the 6th man award last year he won, and then he's filled in for Cedric Maxwell when he's been out with his knee injury and has just played superbly in the starting role. Free. Look at the great jumping ability of Lloyd Free. He also sticks that leg out and tries to keep people off with his foot. Free now with 10 points. Danny Ainge just inside the 3-point area. He's got 5 points to go along with the second basket. He had a 3-pointer in the first half. We have 10:15 to go in the third quarter. The Celtics lead by 10.
And this is a tense part of the game because Cleveland knows they can't let the Celtics make a run. I think that foul's on Danny Ainge. And so they got to get in and pound the inside and make sure they stay in this ball game at least for the first 5 or 6 minutes of the third quarter. Here's the play there.
And they might have gotten a break there because, as you saw, the man who was there trying to block the shot afterwards was Robert Parrish, and there was a lot of body contact. So maybe it's a good thing that Danny reached in that time. So that's one time that a foul was very helpful, I think, to the Celtics' cause. And I have to repeat the fast break spell. I gave an erroneous total. Boston had 10 for 16 points. Cleveland 8 for 13 in the first half. Hubbard now has 10 points for Cleveland as Bird misfires. 3-on-2 break. 3 used his body beautifully. The pass is thrown behind DJ. Did a good job of recovering it. Quickly, it's down to a 6-point lead now for the Celtics. And again, they seem to be playing just a bit lethargic as they did early in the game. That's just an excellent play by Dennis Johnson.
And there's a lot of pounding going on away from the ball. And the referee's attitude seems to be no blood, no foul.
8-point lead for the Celtics, 11 for Dennis Johnson. 3 can't find the range from about 19. Ames threw it too far, but Parrish saves it to Bird.
A great pass by Parrish, trying to save the ball, get it right to Bird, because that's a lot of times you throw that ball to the other team. There's a lob pass to Parrish, couldn't get control of it. Right back to Bird, who was fouled in the break.
Look at the good ball fake that Bird gave. He put the ball up in the air, never left the ground, was able to draw the defender out of the way, snuck in for the offensive rebound, drew the foul. But Robert Parrish, one of the better running centers, Bill. I think I would say probably half the centers in the league could not have made the play that Robert just made.
Because they probably wouldn't have been there leading the break there.
They wouldn't have been down the court, exactly, having that type of speed. Larry Bird now with 22 points as the Celtics continue to dominate from the free throw area. 2 team fouls against both ball clubs at the 9-minute mark, third quarter. 10-point Celtic lead. Calling it on Ainge. You can see what he thinks about it.
Yeah, that was a strange call.
He and Hubbard were battling pretty good. Hubbard looked like he had hooked him, and Danny was just trying to get free. But they're not changing their mind as usual.
No.
Free thought he was going to draw the foul because he had Dennis Johnson leaning towards him. But again, Bill, they're not calling it that closely on those type of plays. Bird just shoved Hinson out of the way with the right arm. Now that was definitely a push-off, and Hinson tried to tell the official. Good hustle on the part of Bird, though. DJ again from the outside. Dennis Johnson with 13 points.
And I think that the referees are going to have to start calling it. If they don't, they're going to have a rumble.
That's exactly right. They must not allow it to get out of hand.
Yes, that's one thing you have to be very careful of when you're letting them play, as you say.
We have seen that happen in many instances in playoff because of the level of intensity. Foul on McHale. Now here we go on that last play by Bird. Now watch Larry, see his right arm. Look at him just holding out and just pushing off to keep Hinson away.
They're both pushing, but
Larry had the old stiff arm. Looked like he was a football running back. That last foul was on McHale. Now he also has 3 to go along with the 3 of Dennis Johnson and Robert Parrish. But the Cavaliers can't buy a free throw. If they are making their free throws, Bill, this would be a very interesting game. As it is, they're still well within range. And DJ is hot. He is just carrying the Celtics. He's got 15. 7:45 to go in the third quarter. Back up to that 12-point lead that the Celtics had at the half. Hubbard waited till Bird committed. Nice move.
And they're going inside. The reason they're able to stay even in this game is they're going inside, too. They're not taking a lot of outside shots.
McHale on the Bird miss. Foul before. Going to be on West. There's an interesting story. West, he was cut by the Mavericks just early in the season before it started. He was signed by Milwaukee, played 1 game there, and then he wound up getting signed by Cleveland and has done well as McHale misses and West gets the rebound. Good pass from Free to Bagley.
Off the board.
take it to the bank. 16 points for Bagley, and that's what penetration will do for you. It'll free the men up for those easy perimeter shots from 10, 12 feet, and you can't give those to, well, to any good player. Bird knocking away Hubbard's hand. Again, things getting a little physical out here, perhaps a little bit too much, as Bill pointed out. Again, Bird and Hubbard battling inside, and this time Hubbard's called for the foul. I think Larry doesn't like it because he's got a sore elbow, and Hubbard's been banging on that right elbow of Larry's, which is the one that's bothering him.
You can't hand check. You see, that's a hand check. Now, you see, you get it. Now, see, that's a foul on somebody. Either the hand check or the knock, and they do it, they go it again.
Look at that battling in there.
And there it is again. And so that they're going to have to do a better job.
And 4 fouls on Phil Hubbard. 6:51 to go here in the third quarter. The Celtics lead by 8.
We're here at the 18th hole of this light beer open, and we've seen some real unusual shots today.
You said it.
Hey, Bob, I think you got a birdie.
I'll see. How am I supposed to hit it through this tree?
No problem, Bert.
How's Yuka going to get out of this one?
That calls for another light beer from Miller.
Make it 2, 3, 4. It's a good thing light's less filling.
Back to you, Mickey.
John, the last player's approaching the tee.
And when it goes to 100, you sell. I won't be long, girls. Hold my calls, will you? It hit the weather vane. It's in the drain. Here it comes out. It's going on the green. It's going in the hole.
Light beer from Miller. Everything you always wanted in a beer, and less.
This open ought to be closed.
Ford consultant Jackie Stewart talks about the 4-cylinder turbo.
The 4-cylinder turbo has staged a revolution. To find an 8-cylinder Grand Prix engine today, you almost have to come to a museum. As for road cars, like the Mustang SVO, the intercooled 4-cylinder turbo can actually give 4 cylinders the power of 8, if you ask for it. The Mustang SVO is a big step forward.
Have you driven the best-built American cars? Have you driven a Ford lately?
The Lakers begin their quest for a championship against Phoenix. America's Super Shootout. The NBA playoffs continue on Superstation WTBS next.
Remember, America's Super Shootout will continue. The Phoenix Suns against the Lakers right after this game here on the Superstation. Skip Carey, John Andres will bring you all the action of that first game and that best-of-5 series from the Forum. Bird now battling against Edgar Jones, who has come into the game. Edgar drawing his first foul.
Now, see, now the guys are not, both teams are banging each other. They're just hitting and not playing ball. And that's one thing the referee has established the first quarter, that we're going to play ball and we're not going to have a slugfest out here. We don't want to have go to a fight and have a basketball game break out.
Very good, Bill. The reason Boston was able to take the lead with Bird now with 23 points and 6 rebounds, as you see the difference in the free throws, that the Celtics, 67% of all of their offensive attempts, Bill, came inside.
Well, that's what they had to force. Now, that's what Coach Carl had said he wanted to do, would make him shoot the outside shot. And a good team, they're just not going to do that.
Good ball movement by the Cavaliers. Free.
Good rebound by Kevin McHale, a good outlet.
Free's been coming up short on that outside jumper all evening here. Good screen by McHale. McHale thought the pass was for him, but it was for Dennis Johnson, and he finally misses one from the outside. The West with the rebound. Mark West. Fans wanted traveling. Edgar Jones crawls one in. Edgar Jones, former San Antonio Spur, picked up this year. Started the season with San Antonio.
Now, if you were going to set up a guy to take the outside shot, if you were Boston, that's the guy you would put.
Oh, what a collision underneath. Edgar Jones hit the deck. And Bird pops one in, standing on the three-point line. 26 points for Larry Bird. And again, the action's getting hot and heavy underneath the basket. They are setting some vicious screens under there, and we're going to have to keep a close eye on that. Jones with a good spin move, but he had no angle to lay it up on the glass. Parrish with the rebound. Larry Bird hits the deck and scores. George Karl wants a timeout. Boston back up by 12 points at the 5:10 mark, third quarter.
lush, tropical, enchanting paradise. Like no place else in the world. No wonder everyone wants to go there. Now Delta makes it easy with a wide-ride tri-star flight to Honolulu every day. And you'll love Delta's friendly personal service. Delta and Hawaii, together at last. Won't you join us?
Bigger engines were easy on oil. But today's smaller, higher revving engines are tougher. They can break down an oil's viscosity within 1,500 miles. That's why there's Castrol. Tests show Castrol suffers no significant breakdown of viscosity even after 5,000 miles. So use Castrol, because if you make things too hard on your engine could make things hard on you. Castrol, engineered for smaller cars.
Oh, my arm.
Rub something on it.
I got Ben Gay. I don't want to go back to work smelling like Ben Gay.
Don't. Try Sports Cream. It smells nice and clean.
Does it work?
Sports Cream has a strong, clinically tested pain reliever. It starts to penetrate immediately to relieve sore muscle pain.
No workout today?
Sure. I feel great. Why?
You, usually smell like Ben Gay.
Not anymore.
Sports Cream, the fast-acting pain reliever that smells great.
America's Super Shootout, the NBA playoffs. Brought to you in part by UPS Next Day Air. Getting today's packages there tomorrow morning.
Rick Barry back with Bill Russell. Shot of the partisan Boston Celtic crowd here at the Garden.
You know, as they bring the, look at this difference here.
Points off of the offensive rebounds. Cleveland just not being able to finish the play. We've got traveling.
As the Celtics bring the ball up, Rick, Larry Bird is doing something that only 3 guys before him were able to do. Dominate a game, really dominate a game from the forward position. And that's more than just scoring. And those 3 guys are Elgin Baylor, Bob Pettit, and Dr. J. Those are the only guys that are able to dominate a game in the way that he's able to dominate the Celtic game.
Look at the pushing inside. Robert Parrish battling inside against Hinson. As Ainge can't get it to drop. West was shoved. Almost threw it away. Bagley on an excellent drive to the basket. 18 points for Bagley. Three-pointer Ainge. Count it. That's 2 for Ainge in this game. He's got 8 points. Celtics now up by 13. Their biggest lead. They led by 12 at the half. 4 minutes and 5 seconds to go here in the third quarter. Foul will be on Dennis Johnson. Now that's 4 fouls on Dennis. Ray Williams has reported in for Danny Ainge. Lonnie Shelton in for West.
And Cleveland's hanging in there. They're playing hard. They are playing hard, fundamental basketball.
And they're not executing real well in this particular quarter, and they're still hanging in there. They only have 4 rebounds in the third quarter. West has all of them, and now he's on the bench. Great play by Edgar Jones as he timed it beautifully. No one screened him off, and he had a clear path and had exceptional timing. 4 points for Edgar Jones. Now it's a 9-point lead. And again, looks like Cleveland's coming up with a steal, as it's going to be Cleveland ball.
When you jump up there to pass, something bad's going to happen to you.
There you see the play again coming up. Now watch Edgar time himself beautifully. Right there, Edgar. Nice move as we're back to live action. 3 got caught up in the air. Fortunately, Shelton was there. With the left hand, Hinson off a fine pass by World Big 3. Cut it to 7. 3:20 to go here in the third quarter. Just a few seconds ago, actually, they were up by 14 points. 13 points. Bird couldn't get it, but Parrish keeps it alive.
Great pass.
And a smart cut.
Yes.
30 points for Larry Bird. Celtics by 9. Inside of 3 minutes now to go here in the third quarter. Tough shot by Bagley, who has 20. John
and
Bagley.
He's having a good game that this coach feels he has to have for them to stay in it.
Obvious foul against Hinson.
I think some of the fouls that the Cavaliers are getting now are fatigue fouls. So, like that foul was because he's tired, rather than anything else.
Well, he is leaning over, breathing hard. McHale gets a rest as Scott Wedman comes in for the Celtics. Robert Parrish has 6 points. But if you joined us here in the second half, he spent the majority of the first half on the bench with 3 fouls. Robert gives the Celtics a 9-point lead. Both teams are in the penalty. Trying to get World 3 open. Now at sea against Dennis Johnson. Shelton keeps it alive. World snuck by Dennis, who was running out towards him, and made a good move over Bird. 18 points for free.
That's why they call him All World.
Coming up on the 2-minute mark.
There's no other province that can contain him.
Parrish almost had the legs taken out from underneath of him by John Bagley. Here it comes again.
There's a foul there, and then there's another one.
Well, and they called it on the second man, who was Bagley. Ben Poquet into the ball game for the Cleveland Cavaliers. During this time, Dennis Johnson spent a long period of time talking with head coach K.C. Jones. And that was a rare occurrence. The Celtics have missed a free throw. Parrish now with 8 points. We've got an 8-point Celtic lead. 1:55 to go in the third quarter. And Cleveland refuses to give up. Mismatch now. Shelton has Ray Williams on him, but they don't even look for him. And when you shoot like that, I guess you don't have to, Bill. John Bagley has 22 points.
And they're back within 6. Good penetration by Ray Williams. He's done a good job of penetrating for himself. As Red said at halftime, he's their best penetrator. And what's good about a guy with his experience and ability, when he penetrates, he'll look to see when the defense reacts, and he'll hit the open man. I was talking to a lot of guys today, and Larry Bird just absolutely loves playing with Ray Williams because he knows that when he penetrates, he can dish it off real well.
Here's see the move again. Bagley leaned in. It was off balance, and Ray just snuck in there. They called the foul on Ben Poquet, as you saw, his 3rd foul. Until Parrish had missed that free throw, Bill, the Celtics had made 22 in a row. Now they've got another string going of 3 in a row as Williams converts. He now has 10 points. 8-point Celtic lead. 1:30 to go here in the first and third quarter. Johnny Davis with the ball just came in on that last free throw.
Made a good shot there to get the defensive man up in the air.
4 points for Davis. We know he can shoot the ball from his past experiences, and that's a tough thing to do. Come off the bench sitting there all that time and be a factor. Buckner into the game now also for the Celtics. Buckner sneaks inside to get the rebound, draws the foul, and will get to the free throw line. And Cedric Maxwell making his 2nd appearance of the game. Poquet now has 4 fouls.
There's a shot there and rebound, and there's Buckner. And there is the foul.
Over the back. And as you see, that's Bagley to the right side of Davis.
And Larry Bird goes to the bench. Now he'll get almost 3 minutes of, that was a break, of rest. The last minute of quarter, and with free throws maybe a little longer, and then the period between quarters, so he'll be pretty rested to start the fourth quarter.
As you saw, as I mentioned that Bagley was in the screen. He did not screen Buckner off. That's why Buckner was able to get that last offensive rebound. 7-point lead. Nice pass from Jones to Shelton. 10 points for Lonnie Shelton and a 5-point Celtic lead. 50 seconds to go here in the third quarter. Cleveland making the Celtics work for this one. And they by no means have it sewed up. And a steal by Bagley. He's got Davis and Jones on the left. He takes Edgar.
Good play by Edgar, too. That was a good, because Quinn Buckner picked up a good defensive position.
Yeah, used the left hand nicely. 6 points for Edgar Jones. 3 points, Celtic lead. 30 seconds to go in the third quarter. Underneath, battling Edgar Jones against...
Good play by Williams.
Oh,
He missed it. He knew where it was going, exactly where it was going.
Williams is battling with Maxwell, and as that was happening, Williams is able to penetrate because Edgar's attention was drawn towards Ray. 5-point lead. Williams has 12 off the bench. Johnny Davis. He's got 6. 3-point. Again, we're down to 5 seconds to go. 4, 3. Taken away by Bagley. No shot will be coming forth. And that's the end of the quarter. And the Cleveland Cavaliers have hung tough. They trail by 12 at the end of the first half. And now they only trail by 3. We've got 12 minutes of action left.
The Honda Accord 4-door sedan, the standard by which other cars in this class are judged. When we made power windows, AM/FM stereo, and air conditioning standard, we made the Accord LX 4-door. Then we added leather seats, fuel injection, a power moonroof, and created the Accord SEI. You see, at Honda, we keep raising the standard.
Us syncopators of progressive riffs have a unique style of jawing.
Howard says jazz musicians talk funny.
And after a gig, I syncopate with a light beer from Miller.
After playing, Howard enjoys a light beer.
Light is super cool and a breeze on the calories, you dig.
Light is less filling, with a third less calories than their regular beer. And the taste, Howard?
Oh, man, it's Obop Shaban's lay down, break down birdie on the hot side of town.
He likes it.
Light beer from Miller. Everything you always wanted in a beer. And less.
The new American business morning. Faster, more fleeting, with time more precious. And UPS is there, meeting the challenge every business day. It's UPS Next Day Air, and that means getting it there. Keeping pace with morning deliveries to more people and more places than ever before.
UPS Next Day Air. Morning, morning, morning.
UPS Next Day Air, getting it there every business morning.
Getting it there.
Let's take a look at the foul trouble as we get ready to start the fourth and final period of action here. And as you can see for Cleveland, Hubbard, Weston, Poquette with 4. For Boston, Dennis Johnson has 4. Robert Parrish, who picked up those early 3 in the first half, still has only 3. And Bill, in that quarter, Cleveland scored 38 points, and 36 of them were on field goals. Boston was 9 for 19 from the field for 18 of their points, and then of course they traveled to the free throw line to get the rest of them. Cleveland has made their last 6 shots as we start the final period of action. Maxwell over Jones, fouls him as he goes for the rebound. And let's see now if Cleveland can stay out of foul trouble in this period. Boston with their quick first team foul, and the foul against Maxwell. Maxwell's first.
That third quarter off as they should have and stayed with it that game plan the whole third quarter.
There it is, the alley-oop to Edgar Jones from Bagley. Well executed. Edgar Jones now with 8 points. 1 point lead for Boston. McHale mixed up, nobody had him. And Davis came in to help and picked up the foul. A little confusion underneath in the Cleveland defense that time. I think Johnny Davis saved the dunk by McHale. Now both teams with 1 team foul. Larry Bird resting on the bench along with Robert Parrish for the Celtics. Dennis Johnson as well. Wedman falling away. Jones with the rebound.
Cleveland have a chance to take the lead.
They led early in the ball game, and they lead now with 10:55 to go in the game. 102-101.
I think that the rest of Larry Bird is over for the night.
Yes, and the crowd yelling that they want him, and here he comes. He's reporting from the scorer's table. Buckner from 19.
And a good bounce.
Celtics have had several of those. 3 points for Buckner. Back in the lead, go the Celtics by 1. 103-102. 10:30 to go in the game. Bagley can't find the range.
And Scott Whitman brings down another rebound.
Scotty's done a good job off the bench for Boston. Look at Maxwell and Jones battling there at the top right part of your screen. Misfire by Williams, and Shelton controls. Here comes Bagley on the right. He's got Davis. And he was lucky to get that through. Buckner almost picked it off.
He shot the gap, but it didn't work.
And K.C. Jones has called a timeout because his team has blown that 12-point lead that they had at the half as they trail by 1. And here's the pass. Buckner just missed it. It was hard to see it. Davis lays it in with 9:55 to go in the game. Cleveland has gone back out in front.
Introducing the amazing Minolta Maxim, the world's easiest SLR, because it alone has built-in automatic focusing. Look, Maxim's autofocus lets you get perfect shots before others can even focus. Change lenses. Maxim again gets the shots that used to get away.
Only the human eye focuses faster.
Minolta Maxim.
Only from the mind of Minolta.
Do you have prior military experience in the civil engineering field? Well, the Air Force Reserve has a unique opportunity just for you. It's called the Individual Mobilization Augmentee Program. Through this plan, you serve only 1 day each month or 3 days per quarter. Polish up your skills and still get many of those great Air Force benefits. See your local Air Force Reserve recruiter today or call toll-free 800-257-1212. Now more than ever before, today's Air Force Reserve is a great way to serve.
Bigger engines were easy on oil. But today's smaller, higher revving engines are tougher. They can break down an oil's viscosity within 1,500 miles. That's why there's Castrol. Tests show Castrol suffers no significant breakdown of viscosity even after 5,000 miles. So use Castrol, because if you make things too hard on your engine could make things hard on you. Castrol, engineered for smaller cars.
There's time left in the game, and look at the fast break points. Cavaliers 28 points off of those 21 chances. The Celtics 20 of 17. And the inside scoring, Cleveland 44-40 over Boston. They were 18 for 26 in that third quarter. Fantastic shooting. They were 12 for 13 inside. Larry Bird has come back in, and he can't find the range on the first shot. That's Poquette with the rebound. Cleveland off and running. Davis to Bagley. Parrish back in also, and McHale and Dennis Johnson.
They're back with the starting lineup.
Cleveland still playing with the people who have given us this lead. Jones battling with Bird, trying to keep the ball away from him. Davis all over Johnson. McHale takes it away from Poquette.
Robert Parrish kept it alive.
17 for Kevin McHale. The Celtics back in the lead by 1. Coming up on 9 minutes to go in the game. Talked about that inside game, Bill. Third quarter, 12 for 13 for Cleveland. Phenomenal. Davis has it stripped away. It looked like it was by McHale. That's Ainge. He loses it. George Karl wants a timeout for the Cleveland Cavaliers. George very excited, and he has got to be overjoyed with the way that his team has played. They trail by only 1.
New business. Jerry recognizes Brother Lampard.
Yeah, I got a question about this beer that Brother Hollowell's been buying for the lodge.
This expensive brew, Meister Bro?
According to the guys down to the plant, it's not expensive. Just tastes expensive.
Oh?
So what's Hallowell doing with all the money he claims to spend on beer?
Well, let's just ask him. Hallowell? Hey, where's Hallowell? Hey, Hallowell.
Hi, Hallowell.
Meister Bro, it only tastes expensive.
Every day, more and more of America's most demanding companies are choosing Royal Copiers. Companies like Bank America, General Electric, and ITT. Because Royal Copiers are built tough to deliver day in, day out reliability. And they're backed by strong nationwide service. and one of the most flexible pricing policies in the business. You're tough. We're tough. We have to be. Our pride demands it. Royal Copiers.
How many shicks can you get from one disposable shick?
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
No one makes a sharp, long-lasting disposable quite like
Saturday, Sunday.
How many shicks does your disposable give you?
And tomorrow here on the Superstation, you can see America's team, the Atlanta Braves, as they go up against the Houston Astros. That'll be at 7:35 p.m. Eastern Time tomorrow night, right here on the Superstation, the Braves and the Astros. And of course, coming up after our game tonight, it'll be Skip Carey, John Andres, bringing you the Lakers and the Suns from the Forum in Inglewood, California, their first game. And look at where the bench has done for the Cleveland Cavaliers. Got them right back into this ball game. Lonnie Shelton commits the foul after he threw up a prayer, and trying to track it down, drew the foul. And now Shelton joins the other three Cleveland players with 4 fouls. It's the second team foul against Cleveland. Boston has 1, and we've got 8:25 to go in the game. And Shelton had good defense on Bird. Davis gets it. 2-on-1. Bagley's got Shelton on the right. Bird with excellent defense. Shelton tracks it down and draws the foul. I think Bagley should have passed off to Shelton to start with, Bill, instead of challenging Larry. He's only 6 feet tall, and he has quite a height differential between he and Larry Bird.
Well, that's what Coach Carl said, that sometimes he has a tendency to over-penetrate. That's one of his things that he has to work on to improve. Making those decisions about whether to penetrate or not.
And Lonnie Shelton now has 13 points, and he has tied it at 105 at the 8:13 mark, 4th quarter. And again, free throws are going to be haunting the Cleveland Cavaliers. If they remain this close and lose the game by only a few points, they'll be thinking of those free throw misses. Hinson's in, battling inside with Parrish. And Hinson gets the rebound. Wedman has come into the game for McHale. Johnny Davis. 10 points for Johnny off the bench. 7:45 to go. 2-point lead for Cleveland.
And that hurts.
They're going to count that basket.
Continuation is what you have to call a continuation.
Looked like he may have put it on the floor after the foul, and of course you're not allowed to do that. But the basket counts for Larry Bird. Let's see.
Let's see if we can take a look at it. Now there's one foul.
There's another one right there. No, he didn't. The foul, and he had already put it on the floor in the continuation. So a great effort by Larry Bird. He's got 32 points, make it 33, 7 rebounds, and he has given the Celtics the lead. 7:35 to go here in the ball game. There's the double team by the Celtics. That'll be a illegal defense.
And I think it's on Scott Wedman.
KC not liking the call, and he looks concerned, and as well he should be. Everybody expected the Celtics to run away with the Cavaliers, and they have played an outstanding game. They only trail by 1 with 7:30 to go here in the 4th quarter. Shelton had Bird inside. Again, Bagley penetrated perhaps too far. That's called offensive goaltending against Hinson. I was amazed that he got that shot off, let alone almost make it.
Let's take a look at it. Here he goes in here.
That's just a great effort. And there's Hinson touching it when it was inside the cylinder. Now Cleveland starts to double up. And Danny Ainge pops one in. Ainge now with 10 points. And it's back to a 3-point lead. And Lloyd Free said that they were going to give the outside shots, and Celtics now are starting to make them. Hinson, strong.
That's a high percentage shot.
Yes, and impressed by the effort Hinson has put forth. 16 points for Hinson. World Free is reporting back in for the Cavs, and Kevin McHale for the Celtics. Both teams relatively low turnovers. 3-pointer, Bird, count it. 3-point lead for Boston at the 6:20 mark. Larry Bird with 36 points.
Now what the Cavaliers have to do is make sure they go inside again.
Hinson.
They did.
18 for Hinson. Cuts it to a 3-point Celtic lead. Coming up on 6 minutes to go in the game. Only 11 turnovers for Cleveland and 10 for Boston. Dennis can't get the reverse to go, and it's going to be a foul inside.
On
Scott Wedman, I believe. Yes, it's Scotty Wedman. His second foul, 13th foul. Both teams with 3 team fouls. 5:52 to go in the game. McHale and Free have come in. And Hubbard's also come back. Poquette on the offensive rebound. Score it. Foul is going to be on McHale.
He started to go help too late. And so then he realized there was a man behind him. Too late to get back. Now there's McHale. He'll start over there to try to help out, and the ball bounced right over his head, and there's the foul.
And Poquette finishes it off. Ben Poquette has 7 points. And the Cleveland Cavaliers have taken the lead again. 5:30 to go. Dennis Johnson retrieves the loose ball. Parrish from 15. That's Bagley. Henson over McHale. Parrish over the back. That's going to be the 4th foul on Robert Parrish now. So Parrish, McHale, and Johnson all with 4 fouls for the Boston Celtics. That's the penalty now against Boston as well. Cleveland with only 3 fouls. George Karl is giving that gum a lot of work out, Bill. He's getting nervous because he knows his team has a great chance. They lead by 1 at the 5:18 to go. His assistant Morris McCone also a bit nervous over there. Henson with 21 points, 8 rebounds. You see he's already over his season average. He tied with Hubbard for the number 2 lead in scoring for the Cavs all season long. And he comes through and gives the Cavaliers a 3-point lead at the 5:17 mark. Celtic crowd trying to get some life into their Celtic ball club. 3-pointer, Ainge. And 3 Cavaliers there. There weren't any Celtics going for that offensive rebound. Cavs are on a 7-0 run against the Celtics. Timeout, George Karl. He wants to discuss the strategy in the final 5 minutes of play. 4:58 to go. Cleveland leads the Celtics by 3. What a surprise.
Here's the Mavericks with a chance to take the lead. Aguirre, jumper, yeah!
In the spiral. 2 seconds, 1 second. Incredible!
Hey, with 5 seconds into the front court, goes to Malone into the corner. Malone throws up a brick left side. Oh my goodness, what a shot!
America's game.
Unbelievable shot!
It's fantastic.
Honda Prelude. Some people like to drive it wide open.
All right, you want to talk about intensity and the players want this? Watch what Bird goes through with Hubbard here. Bell, tell us about it.
They are pushing each other a little bit.
Now look at this, just a little
each other.
Double hook there for Hubbard trying to keep Bird off the boards. The official, you can see there, you can't see his hand, but he was looking towards the other way, didn't spot it. And after the timeout, Larry Bird specifically went up to Hugh Evans and talked to him and said, hey, the guys really hold me, and they're very upset. So we'll see if Hugh Evans keeps a closer look on what Hubbard is doing to Bird when we come back to action. There's a look at Hubbard and a look at Bird, the 2 participants in that little grabbing and pushing contest. We've had a lot of that during this game, and the ball is certainly here as the level of intensity has picked up immeasurably. 4:58 to go. Cleveland has the ball, and they lead by 3. Hubbard and Bird are going at it again under the basket. This time Hubbard's on offense. Hinson! Yes, what a strong move to the basket by Hinson.
That was a great move.
24 points.
He worked his way right down the lane and dunked the shot.
5-point lead. Hinson on the block, but they're going to call the foul, pushing down low.
Now let's see that move on one dribble in the lane. Jump stop, dunk shot.
That is beautiful to watch. Hinson just picked up the foul down the other end, and who's going to line but Larry Bird? So obviously, Hugh Evans was paying a little closer attention to what was happening to Larry. Now with 37 points, Bird closes it to a 4-point Cleveland lead. 4:38 to go.
Now the Celtics have to be careful that they don't let the Cavaliers make a little run of 4 or 6 quick points, because then they would not be able to catch these guys the way they're playing tonight.
Hey, Cleveland leads by 3. 4:30 to go in the ball game. 3 trying to post Dennis Johnson up, couldn't get the position. Now it's 1-on-1. Hinson has Poquette mistimed the ball, and Bird gets the rebound. Poquette had good position, Bill, but his timing was off. Poquette with good defense. Foul's going to be on Parrish. Over the back of Poquette. 5 fouls on Robert Parrish, and to the line, Ben Poquette.
Let's take another look at that. Bird makes a move and gives a pass to Dennis. And he goes and gives a couple of fakes, but he doesn't make the shot. And there's the foul right there.
And Poquette made a great play defensively, Bill, because he took none of the fakes. He kept his feet planted, arms up in the air. Dennis Johnson actually initiated the contact. And Parrish with his 5th foul. Poquette cannot increase the lead. For those free throws, Cleveland on a 9-2 run against the Celtics. Bird making 2 free throws in that run. Now the Cleveland Cavaliers lead by 4. And we have 4:05 to go in the game. As they call it, crunch time. And here's where the experience of the Celtics should pay off. We'll see. That's great basketball. Bird to
2 good passes to get the layup.
19 for Kevin McHale. It's a 2-point Cleveland lead. 3:45 to go. This is the first game of this best-of-5 series between Boston and Cleveland. First round of the NBA playoffs. Hubbard loses control. Travels with the ball. Quickly come the Celtics. And Casey Jones wants a timeout. His team trails by 2 with 3:34 to go. And we'll be back with the final action in just a moment.
This is Lisa Downey's 3rd birthday. Her family could have taken it anywhere, but they trusted Eckerd System 2 photo processing. They know the people at Eckerd are trained by Kodak and use only Kodak quality chemicals and papers. And Eckerd System 2 photo processing gives you twice the prints, twice the film, and twice the guarantee. Lisa's family could have taken her birthday anywhere, but they chose System 2 from Eckerd for quality photo processing. After all, Lisa will only turn 3 once.
When you drive America's truck, there's one place you'll want to be.
On the road again. My boy's trucking me on the road again. Work or play, there can't be any tougher friend. I can't wait to get on the road again. On the road again. Just can't wait to see what's around the bend. When you're driving Ford, you're driving with a friend. My boy's trucking me on the road again.
Remember, tonight we're going to have more playoff action for you. The Suns against the Lakers in their first game of the best-of-5 series out on the West. Skip Carey, John Andres bringing you all the action there. And before we go to that game, we'll go back to Gary Miller, who has a special guest. Mike Fratello, the coach of the Atlanta Hawks, who is now an observer. And I'm sure he would like to be a participant, but he'll have to talk about some of the strategies that are going on here. And we'll have Gary along with Mike there. Bill, we've talked about the inside game. With 4:58 to go, we have 3:34 now. Inside, Cleveland was 16 for 22 attempts. They are really dominating the game inside here in the second half, and that has enabled them to get back into the lead. And you see the scoring leaders for both of the ball clubs. What do the Celtics need to do, Bill, to pull this one out?
Well, they got to toughen up on the defense, and not at the double team on the inside. And they got to penetrate and get their shots on the inside. Down the other end.
Inside of 10 seconds on the shot clock. Hubbard all over Bird. Henson has played a masterful game. Bagley to Hubbard. Poquette. Hubbard hit the deck. He's okay. Ben Poquette on a big follow-up rebound. Poquette now with 10 points. 4-point lead at the 3-minute mark for the Cavaliers. Count it. McHale foul Poquette. And again, the inside game that we talk about so often. Both teams working hard at it.
When you're trying to make sure you score, the key element is patience. Now, he had to wait to make sure that it wasn't a double team and then make the shot.
That's just great individual effort on the part of Kevin McHale, who now has 22 points and 10 rebounds in his starting role for the Celtics. They trail by only one. 2:50 to go here in the fourth and final period. Can the Cavaliers execute something the Bullets didn't do against the Sixers last night? Not a good shot, but Hubbard is there, and he throws it in, and they're going to call an offensive foul as Bird hits the deck. What a big play for the Boston Celtics and Larry Bird. George Karl couldn't believe it. He almost walked out of the building.
He's going to take a look at it. There's the shot, comes short.
Okay, Larry made a little motion, but he didn't move his feet. And you're not going to expect to get those kind of calls your way out on the road. Hubbard against Bird. Larry Bird gives the Celtics the lead by 1. 2:18 to go. 40 points for Larry Bird.
And this is where you have to take your beating to get your points here.
This has been a great game and a great effort by the Cavaliers. 5 seconds on the shot clock. It's at 3. Henson can't get it to drop. McHale takes it away. And they're looking for Larry Bird. He's battling Hubbard inside. Hubbard comes up with a great defensive effort. 3-on-2 break. 3 all the way. Lloyd Free gives the Cavaliers the lead by 1. 1:40 to go. You see the clock at the top of your screen. We have had 28 lead changes in this ball game. Poquette grabbed McHale. McHale to the line. A chance to put Boston Celtics back in the lead. That's 6 fouls against Poquette.
There's a foul right there.
No Wally to Wally Rooney. George Karl
has done an excellent job this year with the Cleveland Cavaliers.
And he's done an excellent job in this game.
Right.
Lonnie Shelton has come in for Poquette, who was fouled out. McHale has tied it at 123. 1:27 to go in the game. And little did the Celtics expect to be in this tough of a ball game in their first playoff.
I think they expected it.
This
I really
tough.
do. I talked to the guys today, and they knew that they were going to have a battle.
And McHale gives the Celtics the lead. McHale has 24 points. Now Cleveland trying to get back into the lead. We've got the clock ticking away. 5 on the shot clock. 3 just inside the three-point range. Great defense by Johnson and not a good shot. George Karl, I'm sure, was not pleased with that effort. Blocked by Henson. Great save.
They kept the ball in play.
McHale knocks it off of Bagley's leg.
And that's that Peter Page we're talking about.
Casey Jones
didn't seem to
timeout.
have everything in mind, but he's just going in there to see what's coming up.
There's Bagley
There's
going a
the
little
ball,
fancy.
right off his hand.
We've got 40 seconds to play. 123 for Cleveland. 124 for Boston.
The excitement of the NBA. Now you can get the NBA feeling. Be part of the action when you choose from this official NBA catalog. Over 60 different items are available for your favorite team. Authentic NBA game jerseys and shorts, warm-up jackets, pants, game balls, and socks. To get your catalog, send $1 credited to your first order to NBA Catalog, Box 800-800, Seattle, Washington, 98108. Every page is filled with official NBA licensed products, sweatshirts, sweatpants, and warm-up suits, T-shirts, and pullovers. Or choose the official jacket of the NBA from Starter Sportswear. And there's a great assortment of novelties, gifts, and toys, plus videotapes of great NBA action. Just send $1 today and get your NBA catalog. Send to NBA Catalog, Box 800-800, Seattle, Washington, 98108. Get this NBA exercise watch free with all orders over $50. Get the NBA feeling.
Remember, you can get your NBA merchandise catalog by sending $1 to NBA Catalog, Post Office Box 800-800, Seattle, Washington, 98108. The dollar will be credited towards your first order. NBA Catalog, P.O. Box 800-800, Seattle, Washington, 98108. 40 seconds to go. A look at the Celtics as they are being pressed to the limit here in their first game against Cleveland in this best-of-5 series. And they have done it with defense to get back into the lead. The last 2 times down, the defense did it. Dennis Johnson with great defense on free to force an air ball. And then Kevin McHale knocking the ball away from John Bagley and off of his leg or his arm, whichever one you want to choose. And they have got the ball back in a 1-point lead. And we saw that happen in Philadelphia as the Sixers put the defense to the Bullets last night. The Bullets turned it over 7 of the last 9 times they had it, and Philadelphia went on to victory. Can the Celtics do it tonight? Edgar Jones in. And McHale. Not only does he do it defensively, offensively as well. 26 points. 15 seconds to go. 3-point lead. 10. Edgar Jones from 3-point range. Hinton gets it back. He still saves it. To 3 seconds, 2-1, that could tie it. No good, and the Boston Celtics have won by 3. A disappointed George Karl with his assistant coach, Gene Little. But they have to be proud of the effort this Cleveland Cavaliers team put through.
So much psychologically. Oh, that hurts psychologically so much because they had the game right there and let it slip away. And they said, now, that was a chance we had to take these guys and we let it slip away. They're going to have a real tough situation trying to regroup after this.
And they play again on Saturday. We will be back with our player of the game in just a moment.
The new American business morning. Faster, more fleeting, with time more precious. And UPS is there, meeting the challenge every business day. It's UPS Next Day Air, and that means getting it there. Keeping pace with morning deliveries to more people and more places than ever before.
UPS Next Day Air. Morning, morning, morning.
UPS Next Day Air, getting it there every business morning.
Getting it there.
I don't compete anymore, but I still pump iron. So after lifting a few 100 pounds, it's nice to lift one of these. Light beer from Miller. Light tastes great, and it's less filling with 1/3 less calories than the regular beer. Now, you know, bodybuilding is hard work, but having a great body has its advantages. Sure makes it easy to pick up guys. Hi, Rodney.
Well, hi there. What's going on here? Hey, honey, how about a lift home, huh?
Like beer from Miller. Everything you always wanted in a beer. And less.
Boston 126-123 victorious. Our players of the game, co-players of the game, will be Larry Bird and Kevin McHale. Bird with 40 points, 7 rebounds, 3 assists. McHale 26 points, 11 rebounds, and the big clutch plays down the stretch. There they are, Kevin McHale and Larry Bird. On behalf of Light Beer from Miller and Turner Broadcasting, we're going to present $500 to the National Multiple Sclerosis Foundation on behalf of those 2 players. As you see the clock running down, reminder, coming up next, it's going to be the Los Angeles Lakers hosting the Phoenix Suns from the Forum in Inglewood with Skip Carey and John Andres. And prior to that, we will go to Gary Miller with the Prudential update and his guest, Mike Fratello, the coach of the Atlanta Hawks. On behalf of all of the people here on our crew, and on behalf of my statisticians, my wife Pam and Jim Stamos, Bill Russell, This is you for joining us, and you're going to have a lot more action coming up here on the Superstation with NBA coverage. Thanks for joining us. We hope you enjoyed yourself.